like crying. I just sat downstairs. I think it's harder to come to be welcome back than to actually get ordained or something. Nerve-wracking. Anyway, it's very nice to be here. It's very nice to see you all. So I got actually back maybe about 4 or 5 weeks ago already, and I got this email from the LDC which said on Monday the 23rd will be the welcoming back of the new order members, and ex-Mita, ex-Laura, ex-Jeanette will share what it means to them to join the Triratna Buddhist Order. So I thought, oh, okay, that's what you guys want to hear. So I thought, what does that mean? So I came to London in '99 to study fashion design, and then probably in about 2000 I started going to Neil's Yard meeting room where Maitri Bandhu and Maitri Vajri taught me to meditate. And my very good friend Thomas and Maitri Vajri was with me every Monday. We sometimes still had a hangover from the weekend, but we would go every Monday. But these classes didn't last for very long, a few years, and we both lived south, so then we started going to Brixton Sangha, which was in the Lido, the Brixton Lido. And in about 2007, I became a mitra at the LBC. And only after the birth of my first son, Odin, I felt like I wanted to ask for ordination, which is probably over 10 years now ago. Then I had a second son. And when he was a bit older, I felt like I could go on GFR retreat. So I've been thinking, what does it mean? And in a way, it's been a path for 20 years, over 20 years. And ordination is just a marker, in a way, a stepping stone on that. And the path just continues. It's been a path which has become broader, deeper, wider, more important, clearer. But I just see it in a way as just a marker. But then I also thought, what happened then in ordination? And when I think back on that retreat, it was so bright and joyful. It's just all the time around it. There was so much joy, and I think it signifies that it's definitely a path of my heart. But also ordination in a way is something a bit beyond me, a bit probably much deeper. It's pointing to the truth, and I think I can feel that when I think back about that time in Akashivana. So I hope I answered your question now. What does it mean? And I don't actually know what it means to be in the order because I've only been there for 5 weeks. So, so Akashivana, so I only could go for 2 weeks, but that still means a lot for me as a mum, rather than 3 months. And Akashivana is just so beautiful. When I think back, it's, as I said, it's bright, but my senses were engaged in every way. I feel there was always the smell of the pine trees and the rosemary bushes. There was the sound of silence and the occasional bird song. The view, there was just so much sky, blue sky and mountain ranges. The taste of wild blackberries and Spanish vegetables, and the warmth of the sun. It was a wonderful experience. And then the day of the private ordination arrived. And in ordination, we're given a special meditation practice which we choose. And I chose Amitabha, the red Buddha of the setting sun. So we were ordained according to our meditation practice. So I was ordained at 7:30 in the evening. So I kind of was waiting all day. And I quite like to be on time. I'm quite a punctual person. So I kind of put my robes on. And of course, it was all in silence. There's a lot of silence on that retreat. I just whispered to Laura then, where exactly is that kuti again? And she just said, just keep going up that path. I was like, okay. And we were also told that go that path by yourself. It's quite a significant walk because we're not ordained in the retreat center. It's a separate little house, maybe I could say. Or room, or just something little somewhere. So I set off. The sun, there was a setting sun, and I just thought, okay, so what does this really mean for the rest of my life? And am I really ready for this step? And I walked really slowly. I had loads of time, of course. And suddenly I thought, hold on. It can't be further up than here. No. Okay, I go back. I go another way. So I went a different way, and I thought, no, that can't be true either. And then I went up again, and of course my heart started beating, and I thought, oh my God, I can't find that kuti, that house, and I can't go back to the retreat center. First of all, it's all in silence, and everybody thinks I've been ordained when I come back, and I haven't. And of course, and then you think, oh my God, and my heart started beating, sweating. Of course, it was warm anyway, but oh my God. And I just thought, what am I going to do? I can't believe it. I'm missing my ordination. Well, I think I'm quite a punctual, and normally I'm quite in order in that way. But so then I thought, Vajratara, my preceptor, she can't be too far. She must be somewhere here. So I kind of had this idea. I started shouting, Vajratara, I can't find you. And I, of course, felt really ridiculous. But I thought it's my only way. Maybe she hears me. So I shouted and shouted. And then suddenly I saw really far away a blue person, because we were all dressed in blue. And that person looked up, and it was Bodhipakshini, who was in our retreat, who lives in Akashivana. And she ran up, and I ran down, tears in my eyes. I cannot find the kuti. I know my ordination. And she was like, oh my, okay. So you just keep going up. It's in a way what Laura said in the first place, just keep going up. So I arrived. I just walked further up when I arrived. And felt my glasses steamed up, sweat dropping down, but I had a beautiful ordination. When I came out, there was a wonderful red setting sun. We didn't have that much, and I had loads of tears of probably relief. I found the kuti, but also of happiness. I went back to the retreat center, and there was Laura then, and I whispered, "Can you believe I couldn't find the kuti?" and she said, "Oh, at least you have a good story to tell at the LBC." But then then a few days in, I met Vajratara, and it was still all in silence, and I said to her, "So what do you think happened? I can't believe I couldn't find you." And she said, "I think there was maybe a bit of a teaching there, wasn't it? You were really absorbed in your thoughts. Maybe there was even a glimpse of doubt. Then you shouted out. You shouted out for a Dharma sister or the Sangha, and that person came and led you." And I thought, oh, that's as embarrassing as that story is. There's always a teaching in there, isn't there? So, yeah. So then my name is Taramalini, which means she who is garlanded or crowned by Tara, and Tara can also mean stars. So I could be garlanded. Yeah. So I want to actually just finish now with a few thank yous. And first of all, I want to thank my parents, who are probably online, and my sister Yvonne and my brother Dominic, for all their support all my life, and they always tried to understand me. My husband Andrew and my two boys for letting me go on retreat many times, but also for Andrew for all our little chats on the breakfast, lunch, or dining table about our meditation, about Dharma we read, or other things which help us to go deeper. Then I want to thank my preceptor Vajratara, who is probably also online, for all her wisdom. I learned so much from you, and you always meet me with kindness and warmth. My KMs, Sugati and Kuslasara, and my other Kula members, Jyotismati and Shraddha Gita, who've given me so much on that path, so much reassurance, support, and love. And I couldn't have done it. And of course, all my friends here who I meet and who I love and who I love to meet up with. I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you.
Thank you, Taramalini. Just lovely to hear. You kept that story hidden for all those weeks. This is the first time I've heard it. Welcome. Great to have you here. Thank you. Next.
So, first of all, I want to say thank you for all being here. And I know there's a lot of people on YouTube watching from Germany, Norway, Wales, Australia, and Scotland, Adistana, Taraloka. So thank you very much for joining. So before I start, I'd like to tell you about the first time that I came to the LBC. And it was for my very beautiful, wonderful friend who is actually here tonight as a surprise, Kema Bandhu, who was not Kema Bandhu when I first came here. I came with him on his Mitra ceremony. So I came with him to his Mitra ceremony. And yeah, let's just say I didn't really know what this place was. I sort of came in, the lights were sort of low, there was darkness, there was ritual, there was mantra, there was all this kind of crazy stuff happening, and I thought, oh my gosh, what has he brought me to? And I remember sitting on the left-hand side where Swati is and just thinking, oh my day, what is he doing? What is he doing with his life? So, yeah. And on the way home, he turned to me and he said, so what did you think of that? And I said, oh, God, I'm so happy I'm not a Buddhist. So when I returned to the LBC, again, with Kema Bandhu, 1 year time, in 2016, I absolutely, surprisingly, fell in love with ritual and devotion. I've been on the Friday class for 7 years, which is all about ritual and devotion and puja, which leads me to my name, Vandanasuri. Vandanasuri means she who is a heroine of praise and worship. So when I received my name, I looked at it and I thought, okay, yeah, my private precept has gone down the devotion route. I understand that. And I sort of had it on this blue card and I sort of opened it up and I looked at it and I went, Vandanasuri. Yeah, okay. And I walked a few more steps and I kept opening it up and sort of thinking, okay, yeah. Anyway. So now, after I sort of understand what it means more, after sort of being explained, I absolutely love it. So the word Vandana means praise, worship, and adoration. It's the first section of our sevenfold puja. So Vandana has the connotation of joyful worship and singing someone praises. The second part of my name is Shuri, which means strong, mighty, a warrior, hero or heroine, or someone who acts heroically towards anyone they meet. So in the context of Buddhism, it is someone who throws themselves into the acts of worship to the three jewels, to the Buddha, to the Dharma, and to the Sangha, with an attitude of confidence and heroism. I've already started to rely on my name already, especially the heroine part, especially tonight, standing up here and sort of gathering the confidence and trying to sort of use my Shuri. I have much gratitude to my private preceptor, Sarika, who gifted me with my name. It connects me with my heart connection, my deep devotion to the three jewels, the transcendental, and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So, surprisingly, ritual was my way in. So the ordination retreat, I must say, was the absolutely best 2 weeks of my life. It was very intense and it was very condensed. And I remember Maharaj saying, it's nothing less than a 3-month retreat, that the 2-week retreat is just as valid as the 3-month retreat, which really, really spoke to my heart. So it was very sort of, very quick and very fast, a lot of kind of positive emotion, spiritual death, purification, rebirth, and then kind of cleaning the cobwebs. So it was very fast, but it was absolutely filled with joy. Akashavana is an absolutely magical mountain. It's full of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, pine trees, blue sky, faith, meditation, rosemary, friendship, community, wild blackberries, and a huge amount of love and connection. It's a sacred place, and as Taramalini said, words can't describe the mythical realm. The energy, the vast landscapes, the dramatic weather, and the sense of connection and lineage to the women who have been ordained there before, some known and unknown, is just an amazing experience. And the fact that we all shared in this journey together, and we built community really, really quickly. So my ordination and taking the precepts has deeply connected with the way that I've always wanted to live my life. As a little girl, I really loved prayer and hymn and singing people praises, and I actually thought that I wanted to be a nun. But no. But it's really just an amazing thing that I think that we've all done with our lives. This might be a bit controversial, but my path to ordination was surprisingly smooth. It had its ups and downs, but I think the Dharma caught me extremely quickly. And I did an introduction course in 2016 with Kusalasara and Dayabhadra. So Dayabhadra, you must have said something right. And I knew that this was the path for me. In 2018, after a women's intensive, I asked for ordination. So Mitra studies, retreats, meditation, building and growing wonderfully deep friendships. And the one who is never going to be a Buddhist is here ordained. The months leading up to my invite were very much a practice of spiritual death. Many things in my life started to dismantle, having to step away from difficult family connections, a relationship, and old patterns and behaviors of my conditioning, which all didn't serve me anymore. The dukkha was overflowing, and I was ready for rebirth. I remember talking to Shubha Vyuha and saying I felt like this 9-month pregnant woman, and I just wanted the baby out. I was just ready. I was really, really ready to take on this new person. I wanted to step more into myself, the person who I was underneath the samskaras. And as my dear, dear, dear friend says, Savana Jyoti, I wanted to become a daughter of the Buddha and a Dharma sister to the Sangha. But before I went to Akashavana, Mara definitely put up a good fight, nearly persuading me to call my private preceptor and ask if we could do it in 2024. Mara definitely took his hold on me, like a tornado, offering me self-doubt, shame, insecurity, and panic. Very generous. I had to use my Shuri energy to look him in the eyes and be stern, relying on the Buddha, my Vandana, and the grounding earth beneath me. On the day of the private ordination, over breakfast, Mara decided to come again. But this time it was more of a storm than a tornado. This time I was able to see through it, and later on that morning there was an auspicious double rainbow. This brought me back to my devotion and worship to the transcendental and my Yidam, who I've taken as Green Tara. And, seeing those rainbows, it was like those rainbows just reminded me of the rainbows that surround Green Tara. So it really just brought me back to my practice and what I was doing. I chose Green Tara for her fearlessness and compassion and her desire to alleviate suffering in the world. She has one foot in meditation and one foot out into the world. And I always use Green Tara as my inspiration in my work as a psychotherapist, always trying to help others alleviate suffering. So receiving my visualization was a true blessing. To be engaged in the world of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas is a delight, and it inspires me daily. Green Tara also connects me with Bhante Sangharakshita, as he is also given the practice of Green Tara. I am deeply grateful for Bhante's translation of the Dharma. He is a continual inspiration, and I see him as an inexhaustible lamp. Now, I never got to meet him because I was too shy, but in a past life, I was a pastry chef. So I got to make lots of cakes, and I got to make his very last birthday cake and the Triratna celebration cakes. And I did meet him in a dream. So when I was at Akashivana, I had a dream a few nights before the private ordination, and he ordained me in the dream. He placed the kesa around my neck and rejoiced in me and started to talk about different schools of Buddhism. Taking the precepts and joining the order, I feel extremely blessed and charmed in my life. So I have many thank yous, and I don't want it to make it an Oscar speech, but my name does mean singing praises. So I'm going to milk it. So I want to thank Bhante Sangharakshita for starting the order in the West, for his clarity of teaching, his inspiration, and his vision. I want to thank Sarika, whose support, wisdom, love, and compassion is my guiding star, even in her darkest hour of loss. I want to thank Vajratara for being my public preceptor. And when she placed my kesa around my neck, I started to cry, and she said, "That's okay. It's okay, Vandanasuri. They're just tears of the Dharma." I want to thank Shubhavyuha and Mahamani, my 2 KMs, who inspire and guide me, and I absolutely adore you both. I want to thank Jyoti Samati, her light, friendship, purity, and love. I want to thank Kema Bandhu, who is my most amazingly dear friend and who strategically left Dharma books and what is the order leaflets around my flat so that I might just read them. I want to thank Attila for his heart and wisdom and showing me how to combine the Dharma and psychotherapy so that I can practice the Dharma every day with my clients. I want to thank Svati for sharing my love of the puja. I want to thank Savana Jyoti because she taught me no matter where you come from and how challenging things have been, you can always be a daughter of the Buddha. My GFR group, my 8 ordination sisters, Taramalini, who in 2021, I think we made the plan that we were going to get ordained together at Triratna Loka. My biggest cheerleader. The Akashivana team, my London family, Eric, Bridget, Freya, and Lizzie. And all my Buddhist and non-Buddhist friends who are here this evening, whose friendship and connection keep me stepping forward on the path. And I just want to leave you with one little thing. May all blessings be yours. May all gods protect you. By the power of all the Buddhas, may all happiness be yours. May all blessings be yours. May all gods protect you. By the power of all dharmas, may all happiness be yours. May all blessings be yours. May all gods protect you. By the power of all the Sangha, may all happiness be yours.
Thank you, Vandanasuri, heroine of joy. What a delight to hear from you. Thank you. Such riches. And last but by no means least,
Thank you. So unlike my two Dharma sisters, I've only been back a week today. And so I'm still landing, so do excuse me. So I've decided to tell you about my journey into the Dharma. I was quite resistant, but my way in has been through dukkha. And I've had many opportunities and different reactions to each time that there was pain in my life. So the death of my father, and I had a late miscarriage with 2 babies, they both caused me to close my heart. And for many, many years, I lived in a very painful, closed prison of my own making. Fortunately, I was given more pain to have another go. And many years later, I had cancer. Now, at that time, Yanavacho, who was my first teacher, came along to help me, comfort me, maybe give me a different way of looking at life and thinking about it. And practice felt very real. And I meditated with him, I listened to the Dharma, and felt my heart open, and it was beautiful. Unfortunately, as I recovered and life went back to normal, I didn't need it anymore, so I stopped practicing. 6 years later, I was given another opportunity. I had cancer again. And I remember saying to Yanavacho, what didn't I learn the first time? Wisely, he didn't tell me. But what I did do was, again, throughout the treatment, I talked with Yanavacho regularly. He taught me, and my heart opened up again. And as life is with many of us, when the pain ceases, we think, well, we don't need the practice anymore. And so I stopped yet again. 12 years ago, my mother died. Another opportunity, and I meditated. We met with Yanavacho regularly, and I meditated regularly, and I practiced. And this time, I persevered. I didn't give up, and so began my journey that brings me here today. I didn't give up. I didn't let go. So looking back on it, all that pain, all those opportunities they were opportunities. They were a way to turn to something higher, something more than myself, and to practice. So, and I'm sure some of you can relate to this, I've responded to pain in lots of different ways, either by shutting down or by opening up and not staying open, or by opening up. And I guess I'm a slow learner. It's taken me many, many years to realise that this is really what I want to do. This is the way that I want to be. And looking at the Dharma, it's given my life a sense of meaning, a sense of purpose. I'm by no means perfect. I make mistakes, but it's given me a bigger framework to look at things and to look at them in a different context. It's almost like I've been given a new pair of glasses with the right prescription lenses, so I can see better. And I love the glasses. They're great. They're really good. They're great. So, when life brings its own difficulties, as it has done so far, and I don't see why, I'm sure it will in the future. I will stay there with my glasses and look at it again. So my ordination retreat wasn't at Akashivana. It was at a lovely place in Wales called Triratna, where I've gone for the ordination training retreats. And equally beautiful. It was a lovely place, but ordination to me felt, it was like a culmination of everything that's happened so far, the path that I've been treading for many, many years, even with my closed heart. And it sort of felt like the ending of that, or getting a new pair of glasses. And then stepping through a door into another room in the same house, a new room. And I don't know what that new room is going to bring, or what that new life is going to bring, but it just feels very new, very special, just like walking into a different room in the house. And I'm aware that it's the same house because the people here, the people in the order, my Sangha friends, have been in that house helping me along, and they're still there. It's just a new room, and I have to find out. It will unravel, and it'll unfold, and I will know what it means when it happens. I only have been back a week. So just in case you'd forgotten, I've only been back a week. It's the actual act of ordination, again, was very significant for me. I felt that it was a commitment that I made that was a heart wish. I've been practising and hoping and trying to grow these years. But it was a commitment that was then witnessed by both my preceptors, which was very, very special for me. And it then meant that I could, out loud and in front of the Buddha, I could then express this heart wish to make that commitment. And I'm really happy to join the order because it's joining a community of people that practice the same way. We have the same vision. We practice the Dharma as Bhante Sangharakshita taught us. And together I feel the order is a force for good wherever, but together we can do so much more. And I'm really, really happy to be part of the order. It means a lot to me. And so I'm going to go along with my Oscar list and my bits of gratitude. So really and truly, my gratitude, first of all, is to Yanavacha for being a brother, being my first teacher, and helping me through thick and thin, holding my hand when I had to go at the hospital, when I had to go for my tests, being there when our mother died. And there are too many things to mention, but thank you. And then to some of the women, my Kula, who have helped me along the path, and Subhadramati, who's my private preceptor. Fortunately, my Kula can't be here, but I have Maitra Vajri, Kalyanavacha, and Pranyamala and Karanadi. So they have all been women who've helped me significantly in my practice and in progressing and enabling me to be here today. And then Triratna, where I had my ordination retreat, there's a team of women there that work tirelessly, that help us all to train for ordination. And I'm sure they're watching, but thank you. People in the LBC, and people in the Urban Dharma project who've all supported me and helped me grow, helped me learn. So thank you, all of you. And I'd like to thank my family who, again, have put up with, especially my husband, who's put up with me going away and going out on a Saturday and really making it possible for me to go off on retreats and do things. Because really, it would have been much harder to move forward without their support. Now, finally, but most significantly, I'd like to thank Bhante Sangharakshita. I did have the good fortune to meet him once. It was on my first Going for Refuge retreat, where after I'd asked for ordination. And I'd gone along and I'd written and told him about me. I had some questions that I thought I'd ask him. I thought I was going to go into this room. He was in his 90s. I was going to sit down and talk to this man. I wasn't sure I just wasn't sure about anything. However, when I went in, he has, I think still, just such a presence. I can't describe it, but all I wanted to do was to bend down and touch his feet and bow down in reverence, which is what I did. And all the questions that I had just didn't matter at all. And so I really was very, very fortunate to meet him. And then that leads me on to what my name is. My name that was given to me is Bodhivandana, which means she who worships awakening. And when I was given that name, it didn't really feel like a new name. It didn't feel like a new name. Something deep inside me resonated, and I felt that, yes, this was the right name. This is who I was. And it felt really special. I think my private preceptor knew me well and gave me a name that actually does, even though I've only been back a week, it is a name that resonates with me. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Bodhivandana. It's so good to hear from you. Thank you, Vandanasuri and Taramalini. 3 big names, 3 significant big women now in our order. You know what I mean, in the best sense. Bright lights, and I'm really struck, actually, it really struck a chord, Bodhivandana, when you said together we can do so much more. And actually now we've got you 3 in the order, so imagine how much more we can do. So let's mark that in a celebratory way with 3 hearty sadhus for these incredible women. Sadhu!